Hi, welcome to the Amoretti kitchen. Today I'm going to make cherry pistachio biscotti, and I'm using Amoretti's natural pistachio flour, some of our orange zest oil, our almond extract, and our vanilla extract. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is chop up some dried cherries. I have some already chopped here, but I do want to talk a little bit about this. Cherries are very sticky, and in order to make it easier to chop them and keep them from clumping, it will help if you'll add just a little bit of sugar to them. I do start by chopping them without the sugar, but as you can see, they will begin to clump. So I will sprinkle a little bit of sugar on there because you don't want big clumps of cherries in the biscotti. When you're biting into it, it's not great. And also when you're cutting it, it will break apart if the cherries are too big. So I sprinkle just a little bit on the board, and this will help to separate your cherries as you're cutting them. So as you gather them, you can see they're still sort of clumping together into big pieces. So I will still sprinkle a little bit more and just toss them into this sugar. It's going to make it easier to separate the pieces. So we still have a few clumps in there. So let's give it another chop. Okay, I think we're almost there. So now we have little bits instead of big clumps. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to mix some eggs and sugar to full volume. All right, so now I'm going to add the extracts. We have some vanilla, just a tiny bit of orange zest oil, and our almond. All right, now that this has whipped to full volume, I'm going to switch out and use the paddle because it's a very sticky mix. So I have pre-sifted my cake flour and my salts and some AP flour. That's because cake flour tends to clump, so it's always good to sift your cake flour. The pistachio flour, you don't have to sift. We'll add that in, and then I will fold in the cherries and the pistachios. All right, so now I'm going to fold in the pistachios. These have been toasted and roughly chopped. You don't want them too fine, but you want them small enough that it makes it easy to bite into your biscotti and easy to cut it. Very stiff dough. I can smell the toasted pistachios. It smells so good. All right, so now we have our cherries, and I'm just going to add them a few at a time because I don't want them to clump. So we have nice bits in there. Okay, so now I will bring in a sheet pan and I will form the logs. This is a very sticky dough, so I am going to put a little bit of sugar onto this parchment paper. This will help from sticking quite so much. So I'm going to divide the dough in half. We'll have 2 logs, with a little bit of sugar on my hand, and then just form it into a log. Pull it out a little bit. If you have sugar on your hands, it helps sticking. Form it. All right, so pull the top part over, hold the bottom piece, and then just pull back with a ruler or a scraper so that it's a nice tight fit. This will form your log, and roll it again. Twist the ends. Now this is going to chill. We'll do one more. So you can chill it overnight, freeze it, and bring it back out when you're ready. Bring it to room temperature before you bake it. Fold it over and just pull it toward you. Rolling, twist the ends, and we'll let it chill. We'll be back. All right, so I have the 2 logs here. One has been chilled overnight, one has been frozen. I just want to show you the difference of removing it from the paper. So when you freeze it, it's a lot easier to get it off the paper. You see it doesn't stick quite as much. You can actually remove it from the parchment. Not as bad as if it's just chilled. So this makes it easier to handle. You can lift it, put it on a clean piece of parchment paper, and bake it. That's that one. This one has been chilled, so it's going to be a lot more sticky. It doesn't matter which way you do it as far as the outcome, but it's just a little bit harder because this is so soft. It's a little bit more difficult to handle, and I don't want to destroy the shape, so you just have to be a little bit more careful. I'm going to bake these at 350 for about 30 minutes, then we'll let it cool and we'll bake it again. Okay, so this has been baking for half an hour. It is cooled. I'm going to now slice it, reduce the oven temperature to 325, and then bake it a second time. It is a little bit hard, but the inside will be soft. Okay, so we're going to lay these on the sheet pan. All right, so I'm going to bake these at a 325 oven for another 15 to 18 minutes. All right, so we have our beautifully baked biscotti here. It's been cooled. Thank you for watching again. Please subscribe to our channel and our newsletter. We want to keep you updated on all of our discounts, our promos, and of course our giveaways. And you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter @Amoretti. See you next time.